everyone, I'm back for video 2, January 2025 edition. I'm a little bit peppier than last time. I think it was mostly nerves the first version. I still don't like being in front of a camera, and I still don't really like my own voice or my own face, but that's a self-esteem issue that has nothing to do with y'all. So hi, how are you doing? January felt like 75 years in 31 days, but we're going to do this thing and I hope you enjoy. In January, I read 18 books. Technically, 11 of those were audiobooks, but listening still counts. You're still in it. And sometimes your eyes don't agree with you. Sometimes your concentration doesn't work as well when you're physically reading a book. And I still attest to the fact that audiobooks still counts as reading. So if you disagree with me, I'm sorry, but this is my channel, so hopefully you don't. And hopefully all you audiobook readers out there can enjoy this, including your physical book readers too. I did journal them. So we have a list, and but we're only going to go over the 7 books that I physically read. Let's get to it. My husband and I, and the rest of our family too, celebrate Yule and Christmas alike. And in Iceland, where we honeymooned, they have something called the book flood. Book flood is beautiful. It's a fantastic tradition to uphold, and it encourages education, it encourages reading, it encourages your imagination, but it also encourages you to slow down and enjoy life for a little bit. So what happens for book flood, and don't ask me to translate into Icelandic, I don't know how to say it in the real world, please Google. What happens on Christmas Eve every year is you exchange books, and then you spend the rest of the night reading those books in beautiful, quiet silence, and you're all in the same room, but you're all enjoying life, your own little worlds, through the book. And I got 2 for book flood this year. One from my son and one from my husband. Technically both from my husband, but that's okay. The first one that I have here is The Murder of Mr. Wickham by Claudia Gray. She is a local author. She lives in New Orleans, and this is taking the characters of Austen, Jane Austen's worlds, and making it into a murder mystery. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. It's beautifully written. It's fantastic. I will say I totally wish that I could have had the time to go back and reread all of the Jane Austen novels, just so I knew which characters were which, because it's not just the main characters, it's also the supporting characters that come out in here, and I could not remember all of them to save my life. That is a lot of novel characters in one book. However, it is written nice and slow. It's written beautifully and with so much gumption. And she's a local author, and it's the first of a series, so I will definitely be reading more of her. The second one just threw me for a loop because it is not usually what I read. But my husband listens to a podcast with a bunch of famous writers, and those writers and those authors mentioned this book so many times, and I have heard about this book so many times, and I just never picked it up. But holy crap, this Ice Planet Barbarians was a trip. It threw me left and right and up and down. It was so funny. It was so unhinged. Basically, she gets abducted by aliens at the beginning. Then the ship that she's abducted by with a whole bunch of other women crashes onto this ice planet, and then she meets the barbarian chief, and lo and behold, they fall in love. But basically, it's just a crazy loop-de-loo, and it's so funny. Lots of smut. You guys, don't judge me for smut, okay? I am a 30-something-year-old woman. I'm allowed to have my smut. Completely unhinged and so funny and so quick-witted, but also kind of a story on learning to love where you are and your circumstances and how you can fall in love no matter what. Absolutely monster smut, but in the fun, hilarious, kind of quirky, crazy kind of way. So I give this, out of entertainment, 5 out of 5 stars. Writing and all of that, the kind of more specific dialogue to it is probably 3.5 by 5 stars, but that rounds us up to a 4. So let's just do 4 to 4.5 out of 5 stars, because this matters. The third one, This Girl Gone Viral. I found it at my local donations place. They gave it to me for free. It was really fun. It was really interesting. When I was reading it, I didn't realize that it was an uncorrected proof, so that's kind of fun. I think I'd like to find the final version of it and read it. It's really great. I love finding proofs and advanced reader copies in the wild when I go to buy first, second, and third hand, because I've always had this like weird experiment of wanting to read the uncorrected versions and then the corrected versions, because I am a beta reader, and it's really, really fun to do that, just to see how things change through the different versions of something and see if the things that you loved about a book come to light and stay true, or if they get changed. And honestly, that's just a journey of reading. Girl Gone Viral is basically about a girl who really doesn't like being in public, and she's an investor, and she's basically rich. She's a widow, and she falls in love with her bodyguard. Quick read, really great. Love the diversity. I love reading about the little hints of different culture. It didn't throw me, for a great loop, but it was okay. It was okay. So 3 out of 5. Just, I don't know if I would have kept it if it wasn't an uncorrected proof. I have some strange addiction to keeping the advanced reader copies and the uncorrected proofs just because it's fun. But yeah, so 3 out of 5. Fourth one also was a pickup from the donations box, and it is You Again. Everyone knows this book on TikTok. This book is everywhere. I don't know how this book doesn't have a lawsuit, because there's a lot of plagiarism that seems to come from a playwright movie. I'm not going to say it here, but it was still really good, really witty, very Grumpy versus Sunshine, quirky, getting to know each other kind of vibes. Basically, two people keep coming across each other and keep thinking about each other. It's a tale as old as time kind of love story. This is an advanced readers edition from 2023, so I'm way behind in reading this book, but it is fantastic. Also, the cover is just gorgeous. Like, that is a beautiful cover. Whoever did this cover, fantastic job. I'm sure I could go inside and read the front page where the copyright is and find out who did it, but kudos to you. It is gorgeously done. Wit, grump, style, fun stuff. 4 out of 5. Okay. I don't know what rock I've been living under, but Carly Fortune, you got me, girl. You are up there with my Allie Hazelwood and my Emily Henry as one of my queens for reading contemporary and alt romances, because this is beautiful. This book is beautiful. Meet Me at the Lake, great story. Is it an original story? Not really. No, it's not. Is it beautifully written and so complex? Absolutely. Do I want to sleep with it like a teddy bear next to me in bed? Yes. So pretty. I gorged on this book, and honestly, I ran to get more. She's got 3 out. I think there's a 4th one coming out right now. She's going to be one of my faves. She's going to be one of my staples on my bookshelf. All of the books are fantastic. This is one, missed romance opportunities, just complicated family and life dynamics, seeking ship business, and second chance romance. It's fantastic. I'm not going to give you the whole plot because it's going to give it away, because obviously contemporary romance, that's what happens. You know what's going to happen in the end, but it's so beautiful. Yeah. So 4.5 out of 5 stars. It reads beautifully. It's written beautifully. There's complexities to the characters. The supporting characters are fantastic. Just, for me. Yeah. Sweet Spot is another advanced reader's copy that I found. I tell you, you guys, I get in these grips of like hunting advanced reader copies down. I am a beta reader. I get that. But like, that's beside the point. Like, I don't get brought these. I go through NetGalley. But I would love to have physical copies of advanced reader copies. Like, I want a whole bookshelf of them just because. So this one, The Sweet Spot, I had seen this in a different version at Dollar Tree, and I just didn't get it. And I kept not getting it. I don't know what it was. I don't know whether it was the cover of the book. I don't know whether it was the plot. I just wasn't super interested. And then, because I'm a sucker for them, I found one in the donations bin for advanced reader copy. It was an advanced reader copy. Of course, I had to get it. I mean, like, the donations bin is like 25 cents to free, depending on, you know, where you're going. Anyway, lots to unpack. I can't even explain the whole plot to you because there's so much going on in this book, left and right, interconnected characters, very funny, very witty. I will say it took me 2 whole acts of this dang book to get into it. Forever. I hated the first part of this book. Second and third, you got me. Like, don't put "the baby is not Lauren's" at the beginning of your summary right here. If you're not gonna really have anything to do with the baby until like freaking, I don't know, where is it? To like this much of the book. I don't need this much information if this much of the book is just having to deal with the baby and the interactions. Like, don't put that on your summary. It's not an important factor if that's how long it takes you to get to that first sentence of that summary. However, the rest of the characters are fantastic. The complexities of the characters are fantastic. There's a few characters in here that are very one tone. I don't know if I like that. If your other character is going to be complex, make them all complex. So I don't know, 3.5 out of 5 stars. If it wasn't an advanced reader copy in my hand, I would be getting rid of this book. But that's just my opinion. So last one, not the least, honestly, probably my favorite of all the reads here, and 5, 10, 15 out of 5 stars. Fantastic. 7 Days in June, you guys. This book right here. Just, oh my gosh. They write to each other through their novels. They're authors that had this very short romance years ago, avoided each other because they were so much in love and there was just a miscommunication, which of course that always happens. And then, yeah, you guys, I was crying. I was sucked in. I didn't sleep the whole night. I shouldn't start books at night, but I do. I can't even explain this to you more than just using onomatopoeia here. Like, oh, fucking love. Love, 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 love. Put it on a pedestal. It will be at the top of my book series. Yeah. It's part of Reese's Book Club. Didn't even know that. Let me just read the back of the book because holy crap, you guys. Eva Mercy is a single mom and best-selling erotica writer who is feeling pressed by all sides. Shane Hall is a reclusive, award-winning novelist who, to everyone's surprise, shows up in New York. When Shane and Eva meet unexpectedly at a Black literary event, sparks fly. But what no one knows is 15 years earlier, teenage Eva and Shane spent one crazy, torrid week madly in love and have been secretly writing to each other in their books ever since. Over the next 7 days, amidst a steamy Brooklyn summer, Eva and Shane reconnect, but Eva's wary of the man who broke her heart. Before Shane disappears again, she needs a few questions answered. I didn't even think I was going to like this as much as I did. But like, it's going to be one of my favorites, and it's going to be one of my rereads, and it's going to be at the top of my book list. See, here's the thing. My bookshelf is tiered, okay? TBR over here in their cart, more TBR over there in the office. I have a lot of TBR, don't judge me. And then I have up here like, okay, they're fantastic. And then down here, classics. And then this one right here. These are for the ones that I have reread and reread and reread and have bought copies as gifts for other people. Like, these are my favorites, y'all. These are, look at my Allie Hazelwood over here. And back there is my Emily Henry. And here's my Kira Cross. And there's okay, Brandon Sanderson's back there too. But Miss Tia Williams, will be going on that bookshelf right here for forever and always. And I will reread her 500 times. Okay, that was my list. I'm not going to go over the audiobooks. I'll put them down in the captions below. I hope you subscribe. I hope you found a book that you loved. I hope you liked this video. And I hope I wasn't too much for you because I know I'm sometimes overwhelming. Anyway,